Christy, and I'm a homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. One is in 1st grade, the other is pre-K 4, and that would also be considered year 0 if you're following the Ambleside Online Curriculum like I am, and also a 2-year-old toddler. And today I wanted to dive into how we are learning Shakespeare and some little things that we're doing that I see are helping my daughter out. So let's get into it. So I guess the very first question that I get asked whenever I tell people that we're doing Shakespeare is why? And I was so excited when I saw that the Ambleside Online Curriculum incorporates Shakespeare because let me put this out there. If you don't know me personally, then this little tidbit is true about me. And that is that I was a theater major when I was in college. I fell in love with theater. I fell in love with the ideal aspects of theater and acting and just being in that culture of diving into characters and understanding them and getting into the subtext and then playing with others. And it was all play and it was real at the same time. And it was a beautiful moment in my life. And I've used so much of that moving forward into all the different things that I've endeavored to do. However, of course, Shakespeare was a big part of that. And I loved studying and really diving into all of the different characters, the storylines. And so when I saw that Ambleside Online was starting kids off early, I said, wow, that's genius, because it's really, really hard to understand Shakespeare language. And so if you start putting these stories into the hearts of kids from when they're little, then they'll know the stories and they'll be able to follow them along much better when you actually introduce the plays later on when they're a little bit older. So there are 2 books that Ambleside Online gives you as a choice to choose for your kids. I went with I believe her name is Edith Nesbit. Yes, Edith Nesbit's Beautiful Stories from Shakespeare for Children. And I bought it used on eBay. So I'll link it down below so that you know what it looks like. It's a beautiful book, but it didn't come with the book cover, which is fine. And what I loved is that it shortens the plays substantially, and they are now just stories. And so we've already tackled Midsummer Nights Dream, which was absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to put some clips of how my daughter was able to narrate this incredibly rich story with all of this entanglement of characters and crossing overs of cross lovers and all of these things, all of these details. And she was able to capture the essence of it. Obviously, I mean, there's some some line drawings in each one. So it's not about the, let me see, which one is this one? The 12th Night. There's some line drawings here and there. But I knew that was going to be a little bit of a challenge for her, and not being able to see and identify things like you would in picture books. She's getting better with that with Ambleside Online's curriculum. Not many books have pictures that go with the stories. However, there are so many characters that I decided that I wanted to give her something to play with. So we do another curriculum for my preschooler called Gentle Classical Preschool, which is absolutely fabulous. And I did a little bit of it with her at the end of last year. It really helps to play act certain stories. So instead of cutting up paper, I went ahead and I got peg dolls. So I'll put clips of her actually using them, but I wanted to go ahead and show you. So I went ahead and I got like these from Amazon. They're plain wooden peg dolls. They're pretty thin. I'm sure that if you buy peg dolls already done, she had this from a little wooden play set already. So we put it in there just in case, because we needed 3 fairies and we didn't paint enough fairies for Midsummer Nights Dream. So we had these. Oops, we had these already. But in any case, I went ahead and I got these from Amazon, and one day I introduced all of the characters to her. I like looked up on Pinterest who are the different characters in Midsummer Night's Dream, and we started painting them, and I told her, okay, so there's going to be these amount of girls, these amount of boys, this one's a fairy, and it got her really excited to read the story. So together we painted all of the different characters. So this was going to be like her father. This she painted herself was Titania from Midsummer Night's Dream. She's got long hair. She painted a little fairy feather, not feathers, wings in the back. And I helped her paint some. This was gonna be Demetrius. We had Hermia. And so we painted a whole mess of them. And we didn't get around to Puck. And so we found, not Puck, the clown. We didn't have Puck either, and this stood in for Puck that day, and it's just stayed in our little baggie of peg dolls. So this was Puck, and then this was the clown that puts the donkey's head on himself. So that kind of worked out really well. You could use chess pieces, that would be great. So the whole idea is just play acting it, and then she was able to really kind of move people around. And I'm gonna go ahead and clip now here how she kind of narrates it.
And then Demetrius, which is this great guy, he wanted to
follow them to the forest.
So Helena could follow Demetrius. But she wanted him. But she wanted him.
So
she wanted him.
Right. It's a big love triangle.
All this is because
Because they live in Athens, right?
If Helena's dad Helena doesn't marry Demetrius, then she gets knocked out of business and her life.
Oh gosh. In other words, her father is gonna tell the authorities in Athens, and what does Athens have? It has a rule, right? Or another word for rules.
If you don't respect your father, you'll be down.
Put down. Gosh.
Put down.
Oh my goodness. So we keep all of our little peg dolls in this little tiny pouch, and we may have to grow this pouch eventually, but for right now it's making do. We are now studying the Tempest, and it has different characters, but we're going ahead and recycling the peg dolls, so it's not necessarily something where you'd go ahead and make a whole peg doll collection for every single play. However, you certainly can do that. We just haven't had the moment to paint more. She is asking me to do that though, but she understands being able to use them for different plays, and then that's also lent itself to some really great conversations about actors and playing different roles and getting into subtext between them. So it's been really, really awesome to be able to talk to her, and it brings back memories from my theater days. Something else that I wanted to show you that you can incorporate, if it is that you already have these things, is that, for example, since I mentioned that we did gentle classical preschool, I still have a lot of like the backgrounds, and so sometimes we go ahead and incorporate that as well. So like this would be like either ice or snow or something like that. If she's like, this looks like they'd be inside, so we're gonna go ahead and do it like in a tavern or something. So these are just backgrounds that I already had from gentle classical. Therefore, nursery rhymes and fairy tales. So a lot of them can lend themselves to, being washed up ashore on the Tempest or something like that. So it brings the story to life for her. And it's been so incredible that I'm already starting to see, well, how can maybe I incorporate this play acting amongst other narrations that she has? Because as most parents that have other first graders or new narrators, because since there is such an influx of new homeschoolers out there, especially this year 2020, a lot of kids, when they're first asked to narrate or tell back a story, they get stumped, they get nervous, or they just forget ideas, they forget things, and like they're just staring you in the face and you're just like, well, I don't know, I totally forgot. I know that I was paying attention and I'm pretty sure I was focused, but I don't, like, they cannot recall the story. So if they can put their attention and their eyes on something that might spark their memory of a point in the story, it might give them a little bit more fluidity in their narration. And that's exactly what I'm seeing is happening by using these simple things of play acting while we're reading the story. So I might be bringing these out for way more than just Shakespeare, but definitely it helps with so many different characters within Shakespeare. So I'll have to let you know how that goes with other narrations. Studying Shakespeare with my daughter is absolutely one of my favorite things to do now, and it, I believe, is one of hers, because now when we're out and about, because we do tend to take these two things with us if we have to go drop off Mateo at something, or that's my second child, or if we just, you know, we're in a hurry, we couldn't get to it, and I take it with me. I'll ask her, okay, so what story do you want to do first? She always, if Shakespeare's on the docket, she always wants to do Shakespeare first, which is incredible. I love it. And I really hope that if you infuse these very simple ideas, that you will come to love studying Shakespeare with your kids too. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Please put it in the comments below. I'd love to see photos. If you can tag me or DM me with some of your photos from doing Shakespeare with peg dolls. It's incredible. And then also, if this helped, I invite you to like this video, and I have more things coming that are centered around our Ambleside Online Curriculum, and then also other things that I'm doing with my toddler, which you can see his Montessori inspired shelves are back there. I have something coming along those lines too, and then also on our more on our gentle classical preschool curriculum as well. So I invite you to follow along and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.